definition, it's a nest. A nest because it's two, it's a pair of birds. Also, the kine yoldis. You can't also bring, if a woman has birds, she also has to bring birds. Besides what she has to do vis-a-vis immersion, be in 1 week after, we're not going to go into those different technicalities because we're talking about the birds over here. And Hamtana Adachi Meitoi, you have to wait until after the days of Tahara, be it Shloishim Yom Lazacha, 33 days if you have a male, if you have a boy, B'shishim Yom L'Keva, or you have to wait 66 days if you have a girl. That the halacha is that a Yoldois Ashira, if she's from a wealthy circumstance, maybe a kebis loylu ben yoyno itor lechatus, and then you bring a bird just for a chatus. She has echad loylu echad lechatus. We're talking over here when we say a nest of birds. We're talking about two birds. We're talking about when she is an aniyah. So you can't bring it from what? From the Meishvis. Why not? What's the problem? Like Rabbi said, it's going to be taken, it's used for good reasons. Now, oilus ha'oif, when you're talking about a big feast, no, it's you're bringing it because you have to bring a sacrifice. Like Kahanim oichlem mishulchan gevaya, and the Kahanim only get it from the Shulchan Gevaya. Is kniyasim midei shvius eine begeda itzois l'tzarchei achila. When you look at it, you look at the main point of it. The main point of it is not for eating purposes. V'nechsheves b'chschayra. It therefore looks more like schayra. V'oy yeshesh lachshich shema yipos la'karben. You also have a different problem that we mentioned before in a different type of vein. When you go ahead and you use, let's say, the Mei Shvius for Truma, the carbon becomes disqualified. We said you're not allowed to inadvertently disqualify the Mei Shvius. V'nimsim afsed Mei Shvius. Because for us, Chacham Mishnah Kedemis assume Vashi Yertzol Shvius b'Shemen Shel Truma, like we said with Shemen of Truma. So for all these reasonings, and for us, Ligrem Lehefset Perish Shvius Aful Tzarach Mitzvah, for a mitzvah. If you're going Kan, the halacha is Shekayne Kenegdim Midmei Shvius. Therefore, we say it's prohibited. So you have a whole bunch of reasonings. Now, you have a very good question. If this is all true, why we mention all these? What's the difference? If it's because the carbon is going to become disqualified, so why do you mention these?
Doesn't bring down the Tzeres Yisrael?
No, I don't see a Tzeres Yisrael here. What does Tzeres Yisrael say?
He has this whole poster over here. He says, nearly the Busse, Mashal Mekin.
Okay, 1 minute. Let me get a Tzeres Yisrael. What ois?
Ois Mentes. Goes to the whole thing.
Okay, let's see. 1 minute, give me a chance. Shvius, Perik, Ches, Mishnah Ches.
Mishnah Ches.
What ois?
Mentes.
Yeah, Enk, Mavim.
The second one. It's more.
The Tmur, my Shnod the Nokitan of Karbonis. Why does it mention these type of Karbonis like Ramayel Chas? Oila Chatus V'Shlomim. V'Oshin the Shchicha Tvei. Bimtem Tzulaim the Keenan L'Revus Nokin. He says even birds, Afagav Dikubu Chatus Oif Shekul Nechel Kahanim. Because there's something that Chatus Oif has over other types of Karbonis that normally when you have a proper chatos, it's partially consumed on the Mizbeach and partially eaten by the Kahanim. Over here, a Chatas Ha'oif has an irregularity that nothing of it's technically consumed on the Mizbeach. You might go ahead and do the sprinkling of the blood on it, Hazois Dam, that might be done, but you're not going to go ahead and burn it on the Mizbeach. All the Chatas Ha'oif is going to be is eaten by the Kahanim. There's nothing wrong on the Mizbeach. Afila Hachi, Kivin the Meshulchan Gavaya Kisachi, but at the end of the day, even if it's entirely eaten with the Kahanim, the Chiddush is, since the whole Kahanim get it from Shulchan Gavaya, like Achol Min Mei Shviyis, like Mishum Shekol Dova Shebachai Ve'ein Bayrak Minachulin. Like we said, right? B'Shviyis Yesh By Kedusha Ein Achulin, it's not Chulin. Al Kapanim Kasha Da'arei B'Loizeh is B'Kinim Nami Oil Shein Nechol. You have Kinim that are not eaten, so why do we mention Kinim? L'figach Lo Yodav Kinim Mishar Kachim She'en Amireim Nechol that are not eaten. Zwei Havlele Minke Dein Mavia Midimei Shviyis Chatas Ha'oif, only a Chatas Ha'oif. The leader Vusa Kamash Malam B'Kinim. After Osil Sakin Haguf Lachilus Kachim, technically there is something of a rectification over here for these kinim. You would say maybe you're getting a plus over here because by bringing these kinim, you are now going to be able to eat kachim. So technically, there is something that is a plus that it's going to be eaten for achila. Shari lavim, you can be able to bring it even though it's inadvertently done. Kamash malan, that you look at the actual thing that happens.
So it doesn't have any
yeah, but it's still shver. At the end of the day, there is a difficulty here. Why do we don't mention other korbanos?
I'm Tzayin also needs to be korbanos.
Yeah.
Same thing, no?
Technically, yes.
Also achila.
Yeah, okay, but it's still it's difficult. There is a difficulty in this. I can tell you that I not so excited about what they say. Maybe he'll say we have one more beer to do. What does the beer say? Okay, let's say you jumped the gun and you went ahead and bought these kinim from the Meshvius. So what do you have to do to try to rectify to a certain amount the circumstance, the situation? So the Mishnah says, Vivhevi, again, the Lashon that we've had throughout Mishnayos, Yoichel Kenegdo. You have to eat in its stead. And we already explained that there's a whole bunch of different Mepharshim that try to understand what this meaning of Yoichel Kenegdo means. And he says, Chachomim konsu alasis kach al shahoitzid meshviya shloi l'kedin. You have to replace it and buy food for it. That's what it means technically. B'mikra zeh, l'fishtei hadeis hamuvo'ois le'el le'nitn l'chal al moish moitzi ke'eses kedusha shviya shel adam. You can't do it. You can't do anything about it. Even though you're not supposed to do it, you did the wrong thing. The Kedusha Shvius went on these birds because the birds are edible. After you sacrifice the carbon, let's say it was a bird of an oila, so it's completely consumed. There's no exchange over here. So basically over here, all it is technically a knas, a penalty. So therefore, become makon mishum knas. That's how the Chazon Ish explains it. Technically, it's only basically to penalize you. You were a smart aleck, and you try to go around the corners and take the Mei Shvius and buy a carbon, you figured you can't anyway use this Mei Shvius for too much because it has all these different halachis. So you use it for your wife's carbon that she's a zava or she's a yoldos. So we penalized you. Let's say you didn't sacrifice the oifis yet. The Chazon Ish says. Then you have the money. And you can redeem you have money, you can redeem it on the birds. According to Rashi. It's going to come out, you'll be able to do it. I don't know how you're going to do it personally, because at the end of the day, because there's a whole different, when you bought it, if you already were mandish these birds, how are you going to go and redeem it? I mean, you can't just go ahead and redeem it. We know that in order for something to be redeemed, you have to have a reason behind it. If you create something and say, Harezu Shlomim. But we know when you buy birds, there's two times when we say it gets a Kedusha. Either at the time that it's bought, or at the time that the Kohen sets it aside.
So it has a Kedusha when it's bought also, but just the Kedusha is count. Which one's the oil, which one's the kappa?
So maybe you see like a Bedek Abayis, that's what he says. What you can do over here is, if it wasn't your sacrifice, you can redeem it. How can you redeem it?
Redeem the Kedusha Shvius?
Take the birds and get the Mei Shvius and supplant the Kedusha of the birds on Kedusha Shvius on that. On the
Kedusha Shvius from the birds, but the Kedusha carbon is the stay.
Oh, so it has both of them.
No, the carbon's in the stay account.
Uh-huh.
But the money of the Shvius will be count on the Kedusha Shvius will go from the bird onto the money.
That's a very interesting type of outlook over here that you're saying over here. That you can you can cut the baby in half technically. Take off the Kedusha Shvius and keep on the Kedusha of the carbon on it. And that's what you're saying. Okay, I hear. But it's a very strange type of a circumstance. Usually when you pay something, you pay it. You can't go ahead and say, I paid the Kedusha Shvius and I'm not being paid the Kedusha of the carbon on it. I would say that more, you're redeeming it because at the end of the day, maybe you're right. How are you going to get it? Also, let's say you make the birds. We know it has a Kedushas Haguf. Birds have a Kedushas Haguf, just like a carbon has a Kedushas Haguf. If you have a Shlomim and you want to redeem it, can you redeem it? No, you have to wait until it gets a defect, a mum, right? So this should be the same thing over here. Doesn't mention anything over here. Let's see if he says anything. Doesn't say a word. Doesn't say on this a word. It doesn't even have a noise on it.
It's two different Kedushas.
Huh?
I'm looking at two different Kedushas. The Kedusha's like, Kedusha's kachim can't come off because it doesn't have
okay, but it's a
Kedusha Shvius. That could come off. Allah is if you could take Kedusha Shvius and take it off from one to the next one. Unless it's not the first one. The first one you can't. For the pagan. Original pagan now.
I hear. Okay. We'll continue B'et Shem tomorrow. We have a minion here?
I don't see one yet.
Rabbi Isai, please come in from the Bible shul. You can come out of hiding.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
No, we're not.
Okay.
I got one, brother.
Chofetz, Lamat Sitkai,